Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play. We're gonna dive right back into Elite Zoo South. It's gonna be a fun time today, folks, as we dive into our first full-fledged and proper management session in a very, very long time. It's been talked about for the last handful of sessions. Initially, I was actually going to do this on the Tuesday session. I keep thinking it's the Monday session because I recorded on Monday to release it on Tuesday. But I was initially going to save it until then. I wanted to get the hyenas in, but then I realized that we're kind of at a good point right now between adding animals and completing sort of like sections, because we've got that kind of transition area done. Obviously, the hyenas are a part of it, but the immediate transition between Australia and Africa is sort of done. Done with the air quotes. As always. But before we get into the hyenas, which again, it'll probably be like one session of getting the enclosure started and another session of finishing it off. Like it ends up constantly pushing the management kind of further and further along. And after I recorded last session, I was kind of like thinking about it a fair bit, and I realized, nah, I definitely need to get that management sooner rather than later, because it's really starting to bubble, and I don't want it to boil over. I'm very cognizant of the fact that there are a lot of issues with some of the animal sort of breeding patterns, if you will, mating patterns. We have a lot of little things here and there that I keep postponing, because I keep thinking, oh yeah, we'll do it in the next management session. And that management session, like I said, keeps getting kind of pushed further and further along. So we are going to focus on that today. So chances are, most likely, we are not going to be having a time lapse today, but that's not to say, of course, that we won't be doing some decorative elements and some important elements that we typically do during a time lapse as well, because a lot of that does fall into management, just a bit, not as organizational kind of an angle to management. These heights are actually better than I'd initially thought they were. Pretty happy with the heights of these things. But yeah, so just wanted to let y'all know right off the bat that is the plan for today's session. I'm really excited for it because, like I said, it's been so long. It's been a long time coming, and that means that we can kind of hit the reset button in terms of like where my head's at from a creative perspective. And then when we come back, with our first session next week, I will be diving into a new animal right off the bat. And again, it's always good to every once in a while kind of step away before going at a space over and over and over again. And this is like, obviously each of these enclosures is going to be different, but I want to make sure that I can, maximize that by stepping away and coming back after a sort of prolonged break. And beyond that as well, actually, I received some very interesting suggestions in the comments of the previous episode, but I obviously only saw them, sort of quote-unquote late in the game, and I want to do some more research. I want to kind of explore some of these alternative approaches that some of y'all were suggesting, because I do find them pretty interesting. That's also a pretty major reason why I want to kind of like hold off on the hyena edition today. So I don't want to push the management further back. There's some more research I want to do on some new ideas that were proposed, and I think also just from a creative perspective, I want to make sure that I, again, step away. Hopefully y'all understand. And again, for some reason, every time I do a management session, I'm always like worried that I'm going to disappoint folks and whatnot. It's just always, I don't know, it weighs heavy on me. But I always get comments to the contrary. So I greatly appreciate that. And I greatly appreciate the understanding. And it's great to see that all of you enjoy the management aspects as well. It is a management game at the end of the day. The animals are the cherries on top, and they're absolutely adorable and delicious and plentiful cherries, but it is a management game at the end of the day, and that's a big part of the draw for me as well. So definitely want to keep that in mind. Anyway, enough of me rambling and introducing the plans for today's session. There is quite a bit to do. I have quite a few notes, and actually, as I head in this direction, I should actually be heading in the other direction. I actually kind of wish I'd started the tour by hanging left, but you know what is actually a really cool adventure for us here? Let's see how a guest might actually. I think it's pretty interesting to see how a guest might have actually taken that direction and then tried to get out to where I want to be, which is out with the dingoes and the painted dogs. So just trying to like investigate what that trip would actually be like, and it's kind of fun to know where I have an idea of where I want to go, See, we got on the wrong side over here. Oh, see? It's like I built this zoo and I'm still likely to get on the wrong side. Maybe need some more signage. Maybe need some more wayfinding beyond just the lights that we've been putting down. Yeah, up over here this way. There we go. This is also something that needs work. Again, this will be done during a beauty pass at one point as part of a time lapse. Definitely necessary, but it's not enough, as we discovered, shortly after placing this down. Again, the idea was that we were trying to block people from viewing the jaguars, but it's not working. I need to do even more over here to block it off. It's such a weird. I don't understand it. I don't understand what triggers the fact that your view is blocked, because guests are looking right through this and getting a bad view because obviously the animals are nowhere near them. But yeah, sorry. So what I was getting at earlier is it's just kind of neat to do this trip as a guest might, I guess. They took that left turn, and then partway through taking the left turn, they went, oh no, I meant to go the other way. And is it convenient to go the other way and kind of get back? And I'd say not only is it convenient, but it's actually rather beautiful too. So I like that. And I am really quite proud of the zoo we've built. It really is something special. I mean, Elite Zoo North, I love. Elite Zoo South, I love. And every session that goes forward, I just, as we look at it from different perspectives, and as we look at old spaces with new eyes and new spaces with new eyes even, it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of fun to see how it's all been coming together and evolving and whatnot. It's another reason why I really like the management sessions, is like, of course I love hanging out with the animals and stuff. That's a big part of it. We get to spend some time with the animals. But it gives us an opportunity to kind of like look at the zoo from different angles and different perspectives as well. And we spend so much time either top down or with the animals looking out from their enclosures. We don't often necessarily get the views that guests are getting. And that's also why we do tour episodes. Now, actually, I want to touch on that. This is another reason why I like management episodes, because it allows me to ask questions and get feedback from all of y'all that I might otherwise not remember to bring up or not be able to bring up because there's too much other stuff to talk about. But it reminds me. Now, based on what we were doing at Elite Zoo North, episode 75 would be a bit of a tour episode. We haven't done a tour at Elite Zoo South yet. It should have been done at 25 and 50, if I recall correctly. We did not do tours, and it's so weird. Like I barely have any recollection. It's all gone by so quickly. So we could definitely do a tour in episode 75. So let me know if y'all are interested in that. We can definitely do that. What I do want to touch on as well, though, is I've seen quite a few of you ask, what the plan is after episode 100 of Elite Zoo South. Are we starting a season 3? Are we starting a new zoo? Et cetera, et cetera. The only reason that season 1 ended up being 100 episodes is because it just happened to work out. It was serendipity. It was, pure luck that kind of worked out in every which way. So don't take the 100 episode structure to be a structure. I mean, for all intents and purposes, so far it's only a one-off, right? We've only had one season and it's been 100 episodes long. This season will almost certainly, I'm 95% certain that this season will be longer than 100 episodes, because it, there are just so many African animals in the game. There's so many of them. Also, the DLC has largely been, to our benefit, focused around Elite Zoo South's animals. So I'm just going to back up over here because I would have gotten off the train over here. I just got too preoccupied with the gardening. But what was I getting at? Right. So we're going to be going beyond episode 100 almost certainly. There's so many you know what? This one's on me. There are no trash cans in here. I gotta get some bins in here. There's so many African animals that we have to add. Obviously, there are all the DLC animals that have been added, and again, like I was saying, fortunately they've been suitable for our region and whatnot. I'm quite glad, but that also means that we're adding more animals to the zoo here, which means more episodes to get all that accomplished. and so on and so forth. We started in hard difficulty, and that was all fine. It was all well and good at first, and then obviously all those issues started to get in the way, and that slowed us down a fair bit. So all that to say this, don't look at episode 100 as like the end point for the for the season or anything like that. It will go on beyond that almost certainly. So I just wanted to make sure that was crystal clear. Now this is a little unfortunate. I want to put some benches down over here. So it was an excellent suggestion. I totally agree that having some benches to sit down and look at the lights would be really nice. We've already got one over here. That was placed there though to look at the animals from. That was my original thinking, was not to do it for the stargazing, as it were, so to speak. Let's go ahead and put a couple over here. I don't know. Again, I get so nervous sometimes with over benching an area, but we could try that. We could try this, right? You just come through a very long walk. I imagine quite a few guests wouldn't mind sitting down over here. Also, it's a rather beautiful space. So hopefully that does help. Now, I do want to go ahead and adjust a couple of things over here. So for one, and I told myself I'll remember the correction, but now here I am about to make the correction, and I think I've forgotten what it's supposed to be. Did I note this down? I did. You know what? Past Party Elite was looking out for future Party Elite, and I did in fact copy this down into my notes. I was so I was so confident right now that I didn't in fact write it down in my notes, but I did. It's not Nyoto, it's Nyota apparently. So we're just gonna go ahead and fix that. And I also find it kind of funny that the typeface that we're using for this is called Noto, which obviously yes is not the same thing, but the similarity, you get what I'm saying. But yeah, it's Nyota way. So thank you very much for the correction there. Let's go ahead and make sure we get that done over here. And done and done. I want to say I'm really happy seeing the reactions to this space. I was really happy with the end result, and I'm glad to hear y'all like it as well. It's always nice when folks receive the end result in the way that I hope they will. So that was really nice to see. So thank you very much for that, for the kind words. But yeah, I'm really quite. It's so simple, and yet, sometimes it's all you need. You don't have to overcomplicate everything. One thing that I think there was consensus of in the comments as well as with me is that those extra lights really were not doing their job. They actually made it worse. So we're gonna get rid of those lights, but I'm gonna wait until nighttime to make sure I get the right lights out of there, because without the lights, I thought it looked great. And then I added the lights and I thought it looked fine. And then I was doing the time lapse and I was like, no, this is not fine. So we're gonna go ahead and sort that out when night comes. We will be unpausing shortly. Now over here, I made a couple of mistakes as well. For one, and I agree, and I think in the back of my mind, I felt this last session as well, but it was just the back of my mind, but now it's been brought to the forefront. But we could definitely just open up the word spacing over here a little bit so that it's just a little bit more legible. And we just add a couple gaps over here, and that makes it a bit more legible. And the funny thing is, somehow I managed to typo this. I mean, I know how, I just missed the letter I was trying to hit. So it's not Nagali. Thank you all very much with your eagle eyes for pointing that out. I absolutely got that wrong. But yeah, there you have it. Nahali Pambwa. I was told, and again, thank you. I just, the comment section just makes me so happy. There's always so much information sharing going on, so much to learn. I know I say this often, if not always, but it really does make me very happy. It's just a joy. That aside, I've been notified that I was kind of close-ish, I guess, with my pronunciation, but I think you were just being polite. But I'm glad I was close-ish. It's actually Nahali Pambwa. Nahali Pambwa. Along those lines. Let me know if I'm closer. But yeah, evidently this is these kind of get joined into one word when spoken, even though they are two words. So it's Pambwa. That's yeah. I would have never. Never in a million years would I have known that had it not been for your comment teaching me. And that's what I mean when I say I love going through the comments. It's just wow. Never would I have learned that. Never. Why would I? When would I have ever had the chance to be exposed to that conversation outside of, you know, this interaction. I love it. Folks, I think we're ready to unpause. You know what? No, we're not ready to unpause because there is just too much going down, too much getting down that we need to make sure stops happening. So for one, it's been suggested that I should, rather than put Eben here on contraceptives, I should put the other male on contraceptives. So if we put Jabulani on contraceptives, then Eben would mate, ideally, with Rashidi. No, sorry, hold on. Wait, they're not both inbreeding, are they? Oh, what? Hang on a second. What's going on here? Eben with Jabulani is inbreeding, with Rashidi is also inbreeding. Oh, have I... Oh, it was Deo. Yeah, okay. So Jabulani is good, Rashidi is no good. So Rashidi, we're going to go ahead and put you on contraceptives and get Deo off contraceptives. Okay, I'm glad I checked this. See, this is why we need management sessions, because my head is in a completely different space when I know today is all about management as opposed to juggling both. I would guarantee you not have noticed that if we wouldn't have tackled this, and then we would have not had giraffe babies. All right, so Deo is not on contraceptives. Unfortunately, this inbound baby is the result of inbreeding. Hopefully, the stats aren't going to be too badly impacted. But Deo and Jabulani are good to mate. It'll be good genetically. Excellent. That's what we want. Right. Fantastic. In terms of the zebras over here, I think we're actually good. I haven't seen any issues with the zebras lately, but we can do a quick check over here. We have a pregnant one. Okay, good. Why are you guys unhappy? Is it because it's not counting your enrichment items? Well, that's not why. What's going on here? Okay, there. Last meal quality. Well, I'm going to use that as a segue to one of the other things that I need to tackle, actually, and that is improving food quality for all of these animals that we added, you know, relatively recently. It's been a while since I've gone through and done this, and y'all have brought it up a couple of times, and it keeps slipping my mind. I have it noted down as well, but it's one of those things where it's just like, oh yeah, I'll remember this, and I see it like as it's, you know, as the session's going on for too long, it's just like, well, okay, we'll do it next time. Maybe I should mention that, but I just realized right now that maybe I should mention that. But yeah, it's always top of mind for me as well. Oh, it looks like we don't actually have... Oh, these are the wild dog, right. We still have to do some research to unlock their higher tier food. But the dingoes over here. Grade 3, and wait, did I miss something here? Grade 2, okay, well, I totally blanked out there. I was clicking here instead of here. Weird. One of those days. It's just, you know... those Friday feelings, I guess. We'll take them up to grade 2. Why not? We'll take them up to grade 3 afterwards. I mean, if we can get them having better food sooner, then why not? We have the money for it. The animals need to be well taken care of. It'll make them happier as well. But yeah, this has been one of those things that I've been meaning to tackle for a very long time, but I keep pushing it off. And, you know, again, behold, management session comes through. It's an opportunity to kind of like stay pinpoint focused and get it done. So that's all of you. I believe everybody else is fine, but I will do a double check over here. With our warthogs as well. Yeah, grade 3. Actually, hang on a second. Can I not zoo animals? Habitats. This would be an excellent place to list out food quality. There we go. You would be somewhere here. Wonderful. Points and credit where it's due. Nice. So everyone is on grade 3 food now. Except for the African wild dog, the painted dog. Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they came through and did an update on that name. I don't know. Maybe it's so unofficial or unofficial, so unofficial that it's not it's not the correct thing to do. But hey, you know, things become official because a lot of people start doing the wrong, quote unquote, the officially incorrect thing, and then eventually. What is official has to change, right? That's how certain things change over time. Okay, food quality is taken care of. That's good. Just taking a look at my notes over here. Bear with me, folks. We corrected the spelling mistakes. We corrected the enclosure name. Again, thank you all for that. All right, cool. So, food is looking good. Breeding is the big one, and temperature. That's what we were working on. When things went horribly wrong. Oh, right. You know, the crash actually causes a couple of issues. The crash from last session caused a couple of issues. One is the heating, which we definitely want to do right away. And then the other is the new staff that I hired. They actually got unhired because they are, well, they never existed. I'm pretty sure I didn't rehire them, but you know what? I'm like 99% sure I did not rehire them at the end of last session. But even if I did, you know what? They could probably use some assistance anyway. So is it really so bad? No, it'll be fine. Look at how much of a difference the shade actually makes, though. Look at that. Like how, like, that's actually, that looks relatively like it's in the comfortable zone. I mean, depends on your comfort levels, obviously. But that looks like it's in the, you know, mid-20s. I'm okay with mid-20s. But that's all just shade. Pretty powerful shade. I've never felt the shade cool me down that much. I like being in the shade, but being in the shade when there's no wind or anything, it does not do a lot. And I have lived in temperatures of like 45 degrees plus. I know that feeling. I imagine Australia, the heat in Australia is similar to some of the heat I've experienced in the hotter parts of the world that I've been to. I don't know about like humidity, but I imagine it is quite humid as well. And I know that killer combination of high temperatures and high humidity. Honestly, high temperatures in anything is just a killer combination. I'm comfy in the 20s. It's 20s. I can go from 15 to 25 is my comfort zone. I don't know. Let's get some cooling up over here, please and thank you. I believe we have everything. Yeah, everything's got power coverage now because we did add that solar panel. We'll decorate a bit more nicely as well, but we do have the solar panel here now, so that'll help with this business. Where next? Maybe over here. And I want to make sure that we are at 20, because again, every time you duplicate, I've noticed this is the issue. When you duplicate one of these items that has a setting, the first duplicate you make retains the setting. Did this one just disappear? There it is. The first duplicate you make retains the setting, but the second one you make loses the setting. You'll notice that for education boards, education speakers, heaters. That seems to be the pattern. I might be wrong, but that seems to be the pattern. We're good there. Copy you over. Here, look at that. The shade over here is doing a lot of heavy lifting, actually. Not bad. Maybe we don't need to put a cooler down over here, right? Like, sure, it's not going to cost us anything, etc., all that jazz, but, like, arguably, cooling naturally is significantly better for the... Well, not arguably. Cooling naturally is significantly better for the environment than having to drain electricity. It doesn't matter if you're, solar powered or wind turbine powered or what have you. If you're using electricity that you could not, then technically still waste, right? I think that should do the trick. All right, that's good. Breeding. Back to breeding, or the conversation about breeding. I mean, what is our deal over here? I always, see the thing. I guess it's just an overwhelming number of pieces to deal with. I wish I could adjust maturity. I mean, I wish I could set maturity to be only, show me only juveniles. I don't know, maybe I can. Maybe I'm just like missing it somewhere. And if that's the case, then let me know. I know obviously I can organize, ascending versus descending, but that's not what I mean. I don't want to, because a lot of the time, like, again, this screen is about the number here, right? And I don't want an adult to get mixed up with a juvenile. I want to see just juveniles. That's what I need. But who knows if we'll get that. Not a big deal, but it's just every once in a while, it's like things like that would make a bit of a difference. I would say would make a bit of a difference. Now let's see if there we go. This was actually a suggestion from the comments, or at least this is what I understood the suggestion to be, was to use this screen to figure out our fertile pairs and to make sure they're not like inbreeding. So Tyrian and Yeoman are going to be our keepers for the roaches. So Tyrian and Yeoman. We can also keep, you know what? Nah, we don't need to keep more. Cool, that was a huge time saver. As long as there's only one of each. Tyrian and Yeoman, yep. Yeah, you know what? That was actually major. I'm going to keep Ivan as well. because I'm pretty sure burrowing roaches need more than just a pair of them. Man, I've gotten over the skin crawling feel when I see the visual, but just saying roaches and saying it again then, like, it literally makes my skin crawl. It's weird. It's weird how much it makes my skin crawl. But okay, that's them taken care of. That, you know, that's actually super efficient. Wow, this, what used to feel like a painful chore, just feels so much better now. Like, I don't mind doing this now. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and see what we've got over here. P-Dad and Andre. This is, oh my god, this is excellent. Okay, P-Dad and Andre. Yes. Make sure they're the only ones. Looks like it. Cool. Yo, this is a hot tip. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one who wait. It's only a hot tip if I actually find them afterwards. Where'd you go? Did I get the name wrong? Oh, you know what? Right, because it also scoops them up from the trade center. Okay, so it'll work when our trade center is empty, I guess. So let's go ahead and exhibit trading, animal storage, and yeah, I think we're good to trade them all out. We don't need 47 creepy crawlies just chilling in our trade center. Go ahead for the quick trade. Let's do it. Cool. Still extremely efficient, this this recommendation. That takes nothing away from it. That was entirely on me. Yeah, see, now we can tell. We should have brought P-Dad back, maybe. Fair enough, not a big deal. But we know over here, we'll keep Andre and we'll bring in a different female. We'll keep Andre and bring in a different female. Or trade center. Now, ideally, what I should have done is I should have brought one of those guaranteed fertile Titan beetles in first. That's what I should have done. But hindsight 2020, because 2020 is behind us now. Titan beetle, there you are. Yeah, I mean, I guess, sure. Go with Evita here. Adopt you, and boom, there we go, done. Cool. Moving forward, this will be so much smoother once we get into the new system consistently. Social health is really bad over here. Okay, let's go ahead and pick one of y'all out. Compare mates. Do we have options? Oh yeah, we got options. So we can go ahead and get Yolanda and Diego. Yeah, do that. So Yolanda and Diego get to stay. Actually, Yolanda, yeah, gold, Yolanda, Diego, ego. What? I know how to say these names ish. Diego and there we go. Let's do the trick. The trade center. Wonderful. And what we'll do is right away we'll quick trade from the trade center so that in the future we don't have to worry about this. What I should have actually done though, what I should actually do is I shouldn't just take a look at their fertility. I should actively go Yolanda, Diego, not inbreeding. Good. Yeah, that's what I should be doing. Just to make sure that the pair I'm leaving behind aren't going to fall apart. Well, this is a problem. They're certainly not going to be breeding over here. To be fair, I could leave them as is for now. They seem to be doing okay. Their social health, too many adults, I assume. Size is too large. Let's go ahead and take a look at. None of them are fertile, actually. We'll keep Mateo. All right, let's see if we can't recover from this situation. Right, we'll keep Mateo, and we're gonna go ahead and get a different yellow anaconda. A yellow anaconda. There we go. We want. This blows my mind. How is it not a female yellow anaconda, right? Like, there should just always be one of each. Even if the genes are, you know, far from ideal, there should always be one of each. That's my 2 cents at least. All right, so it looks like we're good over here across the board, except for Ilhikamina. No inbreeding warnings, by the way. You'll notice. But fair enough. So Ilhikamina has to go, and we'll keep the name that I've grown familiar with, but I know that I can't say. Actually, you know what? She's getting elderly, so maybe we should swap her out. Back to you. Just want to make sure you are also fertile. Far away. There we go. You must leave. You. These two get to stay. Yeah, cool. That should do the trick. Nice. All of our exhibits? I believe that might be. We're actually going to add some more exhibits today as well. Especially in the Wallacul way, Nyota way, because it would hopefully draw some more people up there. I believe those are our exhibits. We did Australia, we did South America, African exhibits we have not added. Got a great suggestion, by the way, to make this a spot for African exhibits potentially. That way guests will be drawn up there as well. Apart from the hyenas, it'll bring guests up that way as well. It's a great suggestion. I will be implementing that for sure. But since we're on the topic, why don't we go ahead and get this done right here and now? Do we have power over here is the question. I believe we do, right up until the point over here. I don't want to have the exhibit up over here drawing attention away from these adorable little puppers. What are you up to, buddy? Can you find a little dog or something? Man, I love dogs. Alright, so let's go ahead and like tuck it away over here maybe. We can lift this up so that the security camera is still in the area. What we'll need to do is just kind of like push this back. If I'm not mistaken, we have 2 Australian exhibit animals still available to us. And I will check, but I'm fairly certain that's the case. I think this is nice because, you know, I mean, caves are good spaces for, you know, creepy crawlies and whatnot. Go ahead and whoa. Not that much of a cave, are you? Blowing right through it. Close that back up. I don't think we have to go this far out. Anyway. Alright, so. Yeah, thank you. The skink we definitely need to do, right? The skink. The skink. Not gonna. The blue. Am I wrong? Did it not have skink in its name officially? Previously? I guess not. So the eastern blue-tongued lizard. Australia. And it was also the, was it the Death Adder? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think these are the 2 we have left, because we have, up front over here. I'm glad I didn't end up doing, I was initially going to do 3 of them, but I'm glad I didn't. We've got the eastern brown snake and the burrowing cockroach, obviously. The, see, even then, I just don't like, I don't know. It's weird how that works. So yeah, let's go ahead and get them here. I wonder if I want to do 1 here and 1 up there. You know, reason to kind of like spread through this rather than come through, take a peek, and leave. There's no power over here, though. We'd have to install a solar panel or a wind turbine or something over here. I don't necessarily like that. I want to work with this puzzle situation of ours. The other option, of course, is to like do it up over here instead. So guests are drawn all the way up over here to take a look at the exhibits, which works as well. I like that idea as well. I'm gonna try the cave at first, and we'll see if that works. And if not, then we'll go ahead and experiment with a different positioning for it. But yes, let's go ahead and get ourselves an exhibit here. Maybe I'll just stack them kind of side by side-ish. Actually, don't want it to attach. Really, eh? You're not gonna... That's weird. Doesn't... Like, what's blocking you here? That isn't blocking you closer. Alright, fine. If that's what it takes, then let's go ahead and do this for now. Then I can do... Or not. I was hoping I could kind of like get around it and whatnot. Here, let's go ahead and flip to... Where'd you go? There you are. You and I, without flattening the terrain... Oh. Nope. Don't want to connect. There we go. Because apparently I don't have to. Apparently you're perfectly fine not being connected. I've been told this multiple times. And I mean, I have no reason to, like, not believe that to be true. I want to try and... Why can I not go ahead and do that? Just so I have the room to play here. There we go. Move you up. Constructed. Of course. Nudge you over a bit, maybe. There we go. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and tuck this thing in. Dear, I do that. Come on now. Come on, game. You know exactly what I need you to do here. Work with me. Ooh. The angle snap is off, but it still wants to, like, snap its angle. Okay, let's do that. I'm fine with that. Am I fine with this? I am. That. Cool. Now we can move you. Right. I was like, did I just put it down over there? No. Good. I'm fine with it connecting. I don't necessarily, like, need it to or want it to, but I'm fine with it if it has to for some reason. Like, I'm not going to stop it. I always can, obviously. I can just get rid of the little path connections, I think. But why, like, this is what's weird to me. It's like, why did it connect on these two sides but not on this side? If it was just, like, symmetrical, if you will, I'd be okay with it. I guess because this doesn't extend further up. But if I do extend it further up, then it'll go too far. Nope. Do that. Sure, I'll take that. At least it's symmetrical and it feels intentional. So I got one down over here. Maybe we do one down over here and one up by the food stalls and whatnot. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. We could add another one elsewhere as well. I just need to figure out where it would be. Now, if we're lucky, the modifications we're making over here will get rid of the nostrils. If we're otherwise, it's fine to still have them. If we're unlucky, though, we're going to be adding a whole, like, bridge to the nose and everything. If that ever ends up happening by chance, I mean, I'm going to lose it. It'll be priceless. I don't want to do it intentionally, though. Though putting a little mustache down is tempting, but wrong animal for it. You know, they don't need more coverage. Yeah, you know, I actually quite like this. This is quite nice. You come down over here and then go over here. You keep going. Yeah, this is quite good. Maybe I do find a way to get power down over here, but maybe not, like, necessarily today. One thing at a time, right? We still have to take care of breeding, and I want to prioritize that for sure. Up instead. Then it looks better. Yeah, cool. Who gets the pleasure of being down in here? I think the lizard. I think the lizard makes most sense. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Or if for whatever other reason we want to do the snake instead. Let me know. But I think I quite like the idea of our skink in here. So let's go ahead and get that done. Well, let's not pretend not a big deal. Blue-tongued lizard. So, the eastern blue-tongued lizard, the Deliqua... Why do I do this to myself? Skincoides? Skincoides? Oh, great. It's not just once, it's twice. The word's got to come up. Population in wild, unknown, data deficient. The eastern blue-tongued lizard, or eastern blue-tongued skink, is a species of reptile that lives in the woodland, shrubland, and semi-desert areas of Australia. Oh, this works perfectly. Yo, this works great. Though I'm pretty sure the snake also is in the same kind of similar-ish regions. Anyway, they are broad and squat animals with a triangular head and a thick tail. It has various color morphs, but typically has tan, beige, and black scales arranged in a striped pattern. As its name suggests, it has a bright blue tongue. Adult eastern blue-tongued lizards are between 18 inches and 24 inches in length. Oh, dude, that's not small. That's not too small at all. 24-inch lizard, that's big. Have I got my sense of scale wrong? Like, it's okay, it's not big. It's not like an elephant, obviously. Like, let's not be hyperbolic. But, like, that's, you know, I was expecting tiny. Like, you know, itty bitty, like, geckos. We know where they, this looks like somebody with a Picasso or something. Or, like, this, like, that's the nose. That's the mouth. That's the eye. Except, like, this person was, I don't know, not in a regular state of mind. There's a face in here, but also like a hawk beak. There's something going on over here. 25 to 35, 50 to 60, fair enough. 1 to 2 in the group, no dominant structure. There are polygynous. I guess I don't stay in groups for very long. 20.8 inches long, male and female, 12 years, male and female, 12.25 ounces, male and female. I don't, ounces. I have no concept. I just want to have a rough-ish idea. 12.25 ounces in grams, please and thank you. 347. Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, right. They aren't as small as I initially thought them to be. Right. Okay, about 347 grams. Fair. 2 years, sexual maturity. Death is sterility. There's a quote. Number of offspring per mating event is 1 to 3, 4 months incubation, 22 months of interbirth period, and easy reproduction in captivity. Good stuff. Social needs. Eastern blue-tongued lizards are solitary animals and only interact to mate or fight over mates. Wow. Extremely solitary. Reproduction. So male eastern blue-tongued lizards track females by scent during the mating season. If multiple males are tracking the same female, they are likely to meet and fight aggressively for mating rights. The victor will get to mate with the female. Males can be aggressive towards females during mating, using their teeth and claws. Females may get scratches and scars from mating. Around 3 to 5 months after mating, females will give birth to an average of 10 to 15 young. Yeah, so this number is not accurate. The female does not care for young, leaving after birth. The young are independent from birth. Wow. Eastern blue-tongued lizards reach sexual maturity between 18 and 24 months old and are fully grown at around 3 years old when they have reached a size of approximately 16 inches in length. We talked about this with some of the aquatic DLC as well, if I recall correctly. But I just want to touch on it here. So this last sentence can mean a couple of things. Do they mean that by the age of 3, they are approximately 16 inches in length? Or do they mean that there is a minimum length before, like, is maturity tied to length here, or is length tied to age, which is tied to maturity, right? Like, if, let's say, by some, mutation or whatnot, at 1 year old, one of these skinks ends up 18 inches in length, does it become sexually mature? I'm obviously reading too much into this. The obvious answer is no. At 3 years old, they become sexually mature, and they're around 16 inches in length at that time. But why mention that? It's not like they mention the weight or the height or the anything else of any of the other animals when, like, when they come of age, when they're sexually mature. Right? So, like, why mention it for these lizards? Just, I don't know. And if somebody knows better than me, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that does, then feel free to inform me. Of course, no research done, no enrichment or anything. Oh yeah, we actually have to, yeah, I forgot about, it's been a while since we've added one of these exhibits, eh? But cool, let's go ahead and get the eastern blue-tongued lizard in here. Not animal trading, exhibit trading, thank you very much. Eastern blue-tongued lizard. Wow, Alexander, you're the one. Go ahead and adopt you and pop you in here. Hopefully we'll find a nice mate for him soon. And again, in a beauty pass, we'll go ahead and enclose this properly in like a nice rock kind of a thing. And also, I should mention, as many of you have pointed out, it'd be nice to actually have some cave paintings and stuff in here. There are some really, really nice Australian, I don't know what the tag, the key word would be. But there are some really great rock paintings. Rock paintings that we can use, and one that comes to mind readily right now is, of course, the this one, right? It's a gecko, I know, but You know what I'm getting at. But these, I mean, I feel like we could probably blend these in pretty nicely. I was just being very cautious with like using these appropriately and whatnot. But yeah, we're gonna definitely build this stuff up, build this space up. The cassowary one, I want to put over here as well. What I want to try and get at, and I was getting at it with this, and I don't know if I mentioned it during the time lapse, but apparently dingoes aren't very commonly found in cave paintings. And so this is kind of like an homage to that gap, I guess. It is done in a more modern style, and it is like there's like that's the when I say modern style, I mean it's like not using quote unquote traditional materials and whatnot, and it's obviously got a more quote unquote again modern aesthetic to it. But that's the thought I had in the back of my mind of like kind of like paying homage to a long history of it. And then I feel like adding these as well would do a nice job of it. But at the time, I think I mentioned as well during the time lapse, I just wasn't sure about how to go about using them and whatnot. So got some great suggestions, and they kind of line up with what I was thinking originally as well. So that's great. With some enhancements, and we'll go in and we'll get that implemented during a beauty pass. But cool. All right, we have ourselves a new addition. Let's make sure that our staff taking care of them. This is Australia still. Yes, Australia. There we go. I want to make sure as well that, what was the other thing? Right, education. Go ahead and get ourselves the facilities, the education board. There we go. Now, when we do our next round for staff naming and sponsor boards, there's a lot of new animals to like get in names for, especially with the sponsor boards. I've got actually quite a few requests for dingoes, especially if I recall correctly. Yeah, I've got some requests for okapis, cassowaries, African elephants, and dingoes, and I do have them noted down. But of those, of course, only the dingo applies when Feb 1 comes around. But there are new animals to like, if you wanted to get your name in for. Not asking for them now, not asking for them today. I don't know why I should have brought it up when I normally bring it up, but it's just I'm just thinking back on January, I guess, and thinking we made a lot of progress. January was intense. We got a lot done in January, and I'm quite happy to be able to say that, because I was a little worried about how our pacing was going, and I think many of you expressed that as well. So I was a little concerned about our pacing, but it seems as though it's all kind of like we found our rhythm, as it were. I mean, again, hard difficulty was fun while it lasted, and it lasted for a fair bit of time. And I would go so far as to say is that we did in fact tackle the challenge quite well. Just at the end there, unfortunately, it I don't know, the bugs were it's just like I can only be so patient. And I think that goes for all of us, and I feel bad, and I felt bad that every episode for like 5 episodes in a row we were just picking up people's trash almost literally. So that was the time to call it. I think we successfully tackled the challenge though, and that's definitely a good feeling for sure. I have no hesitation in calling it that. All right, so this is where the problem arises. We're just gonna have to reduce your speaker size and bump up yours a bit, slightest bit. We're gonna have to adjust you. So why don't we go ahead and scoot you over instead? There we go. The problem though is, the problem is that any groups that are in the overlapping area will be upset. So we got to drop this down a notch anyway. Sure. Not the biggest fan there. That'll hopefully do the trick. Cool. We'll have to get power over here to get another education board over here. We'll work on that afterwards, I think. For now, though, I think this is all good. Cool. Fantastic. Now, is a buddy in here? Yeah, little guy. Oh, there you are. Yeah, not so little at all. Look at that. Cool. Majestic. Got you assigned. Right, research. I was gonna say, like, we've got this in a work zone, but we also need to make sure we have our vets doing some research. So, Michelle, let's go ahead and get you on the Eastern Blue-Tongued Lizard. And let's go ahead and finally now take a look at what I've been meaning to look at since the beginning. like the original impetus for a management session. Breeding. I guess again, it's just like so much to go through all at once, you know? Okay, so let's just go by sort of animal order. We have our African painted dogs with their, okay, hang on a second. I'm sorry. This zoo is called Yes We Canine, or Canine. Okay. I love it. I assume it's a dog, it's a canine only zoo. Points. Let's go. I didn't notice that when we picked him up. So yeah, great. I'm glad we caught it now. But yeah, we've got our African painted dogs, so to speak, taken care of. Over here, you're good. Let's go ahead and get all of our baby Aldabra giant tortoises done. Yep. Again, I'm just doing it like this. I mean, I suppose I could do this, and then right, we checked this previously. Yeah. Over here, let's make sure you are. Yep. I need to trade as well soon. I mean, I think we're gonna do a trade session, like a streamed trade session or something soon. Not sure when yet, but I think relatively soon it's gonna have to happen because hang on a second. If I check you and do this, okay, it'll turn on. It'll have to happen relatively soon because it has been a while. It's getting crowded. And that's problematic, honestly. I'm just glad we have a baby white-faced capuchin, honestly. Down over here, let's make sure you guys... Dingo, we have Luca. Patrick and Hudson. Over here, do we have... Yes, we do. They're all already on contraceptives. All right, let's go ahead and just turn these on then. Just in case I make a mistake, I want to make sure the mistake is a lesser one. Louise, do we have to... Oh yeah, Louise and Raul have to be in the trade center. Okay, they are. Okay, good. Gonna try and trade them out, I guess. Over here, we're fine. We did them recently. We're fine. Okay, the Jaguars. Got a few in the trade center. That's fine. Yeah, we're looking okay, man. Elderly. We're gonna have to do a little swap soon. So I guess we shouldn't trade out our Jaguars because we're gonna do a bit of a swap, I guess, in the next handful of episodes potentially. Good to know. Good here. I mean, the llamas are, because of how they mate, it's sort of like they're fine, but there might be a mistake, so to speak. Hang on a second. You're gonna have a very different kind of coat when you're an adult, aren't you? Are you? I gotta adjust their coverage a little bit, I guess. I think it's gotten worse because of a recent update, potentially. Tan, brown, thick, shaggy wool. I look forward, like, look how different the portrait is. I look forward to that. Good stuff. Oh, we have you over here as well. Also a baby at present. Alright, fair enough. I thought we were fine with the zebras. We haven't had... You know what? I'm going to go ahead and just play it safe. Get our youngest ones and contraceptives. We have enough of them that are still, like, mating and breeding and whatnot, so, like, that's fine. And we'll keep an eye out for inbreeding warnings. Yeah, just, we'll play it safe. We'll keep an eye on it. Oh my god. This portrait looks so adorable. Marucci over here. Such a cutie. Gonna be put on contraceptives. Believe we're fine otherwise, because we've gotten a couple of notifications recently about the kangaroos potentially inbreeding, and we kind of like jumped in and put them on contraceptives when that was happening. But I think we're fine. Quite a few are pretty old, about to leave us. Very well. The lemurs, I've never seen an issue get brought up. I don't think I've seen... Oh, you know what? No, that's a lie. That's a lie. We've definitely seen... It's just been a while. And probably not even that long. It's just been slipping my mind. Let's get you on contraceptives over here. You guys are all good. Fine. These guys are getting kind of old, aren't they? Well, for now, let's go ahead and put you on contraceptives. We just need to make sure that when our lemurs start to you know, again, leave us, so to speak, we stay on the ball in terms of swapping them out. This is all good. This is all good. I believe this is all good, but we can go ahead and get you and you. And you on contraceptives. You are our youngest? Yes, you are. Born relatively recently, probably last session. Whoa, are you standing? Oh, they've evolved. Well, it's time for some Planet of the Apes action, I guess. Man, I've been meaning to rewatch that movie for a while now. The new ones, but also the original one. And if you haven't seen the original one, I highly recommend watching it. Just the first one, not all 7 original movies. Just the first one. The second one, maybe, if you're up for some like zany, campy sci-fi, but the first one for sure. Super amazing movie. Okay, so distractions aside, that's all done. Yes, good. I think we can hit play now. Jeez, really hope to hit play a lot sooner than that, but it is what it is. Low welfare for you, of course, because I have not taken care of your exhibit. My apologies, Alexander. Sort that out right away. I wish I could just click over here. Humidity needs to be 60 to 50, I believe. So it's 60. And they heat up a little bit. 25 ought to do the trick, I think. Cool. Alright, now you've got to stick your tongue out, right? There it was. I didn't catch if it was blue or not. Come on. Yeah, it's definitely blue. It's a deeper blue than I'd expected. So I just want to get the angle right on this. Ah. This is not the angle I was hoping for, but moving too quickly. Oh, there. Come on. Wish it was more fine-tuned. Now I want to be between these two spots, but this is pretty cool. Again, I'm just always blown away at the level of detail that they've decided to put in on these animals as well, right? Like that. Definitely blue. You could say the level of detail blew me away. Yeah, look at that. You can see the shade of blue a little bit there. And this camera, I wish it was... just move it a bit more smoothly. There we go. That's the angle I wanted. Yeah, look at how majestic it looks. The level of detail even on the underside. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm really curious to see... Well, can we get ourselves a female here? When did you get all messy again? I'll work around it when the time comes. Can we get ourselves a female? Yes, Grace. Pop you in there. Excellent. Now I got a pair of you. I wonder if injury... Well, no, right. They're just exhibit animals. Because, like, the Zoopedia article was pretty clear about, like, oh, yeah, there's often a lot of, like, you know, resulting injuries from mating. I was wondering, like, oh, do they actually have to be taken to the vet afterwards? Like, how bad do these, you know, get? Where is our counterpart here? Look at this. Oh, hello. Well, that's super cool, but how do you get out of there? Up over here? Oh, man, I want to see these animations. That's super cool, man. That's super cool. Sometimes you just want to spend time with these guys as well, just to see how they move around and interact with their spaces as well. I'm not going to see anything at present, I don't think. But yeah, like, how do you get from there to over here? Or do you just kind of, like, teleport when the camera's not looking? You flip a variable and you go, like, nope, new positions now. Who knows? Nobody knows. Disease animal, lots of disease over here, of course, because it's just not been clean. What is this? Oh my lord, why are you all over here? I've turned off all the animal talks. Nice. That's a lot of people. Just jamming the space up. I don't even know what to, like... Paths don't get much wider than this. That's kind of wild. Must be... all the animal talks are off. Education talks are off, yeah. This is interesting as well. I kind of wish I did spend more time on some of these just to see how this evolves. I feel like this list has been the same for a fairly long time, actually. But that, neither here nor there. Hopefully these guys will draw some guests in here because it's the only place you can see these guys. Now, that's not to say that we weren't seeing crowds in the cave, but I hope that this adds more to that. And then we can get the snake either over here, right? Either over here or, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, up over here as a part of this experience. I think that works too. Like I said, either way works for me. I'd be curious to hear your opinions on that. Go ahead and unbox all animals over here. And as we unbox these monkeys, immediate dart. As we unbox these monkeys, though, and unbox these jaguars, I do believe it is time for us to box up this episode. Folks, this is what we're going to call it. That was a very, very, very hefty episode. We got a lot done. We added a new animal. That's why I was like, might not have a time lapse, but we're adding a new animal today. We've got ourselves a new animal. We've got ourselves many more benches, many more bins. The cooling has hopefully been taken care of, so hopefully that'll, just make guests even happier than they already have been. We've hopefully taken care of potential breeding issues as some of these animals especially mature, so that'll be good. What we didn't do is get the old staff that we lost. We need to re-get that staff. So let's go ahead and do that really quickly. Because obviously, if I keep postponing it, it'll never get done. Now what I can't remember for the life of me is they were Africa staff, right? I believe they were. Yes, they were Africa staff. Keeper, a mechanic as well. I believe it was just the one. Obviously, if it's different from what I did last time, it's not the end of the world, but I want to, I want to try and do what I did last time. I mean, obviously, if I feel differently now, then that's perfectly fair. Africa East. I'm going to check that shortly. Africa East. You as well. And finally, Africa East. And work zone manager, Africa East is... Yep, looks good to me. Add you to this. Honestly, tempted to add this as well, because why not? And I might actually, put another set of staff rooms somewhere in this gap. I mean, there's staff room accessibility down over here. They're obviously able to, come up this way and then go over, but maybe I just change how this is attached, or I need to add some more staff facilities in this area. I gotta figure something out. We have staff facilities over here as well, but that's like way too far away to be relevant over here. But otherwise, the staff facilities are all the way down over here. So this is quite the hike, right? So I gotta figure something out. But that will be for some other time. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this session. If you did, you know what to do. Let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do more or less of, how I go about doing it. Y'all know the drill by now. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big ol' thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time, cheers.